What's up, everybody? Good morning. It's Friday. It's snowy. It's February 6th, 2026, 262026. Let's go. How you doing, everybody? And yes, I can just go ahead and ask old Hat and Boobs. I freaking love Rush. So yeah, I was getting up and going get down on Rush this morning. Guys, how you doing? How you doing? I'm Hat and Beard, and we got some news and some notes from around the league. Breaking news now there, fellas. The NFL is a freaking joke, okay? The NFL is a joke there. And what I don't know how else to spin it for you guys. It's chicanery, it's tomfoolery, it's nonsense, it's insert a descriptive word for you know what I'm saying? NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame Class 2026 revealed at NFL Honors. I think we all knew who was kind of going to be on here. Little disappointed in one of the names that was a finalist that was left off. Look, I'm a Frank Gore fan. I like what he did on the field. All right, can't help it. I liked his run style. Frank Gore not being in the NFL Hall of Fame, at least this go around, is disgusting. Also, Eli Manning, second ballot, still not in. And you guys already know how I feel about old Billy Blue Chew getting the biggity bounce from the ballot of the Hall of Fame. And then, to continue with the chicanery, NFL Honors. Now look at us going to AP News. Matt Stafford wins AP's NFL Most Valuable Player of the Year award. Oh, good. I'm so glad that when you have all pro talent around you at every position, bought and paid for, you then have the major media market of being in Los Angeles propelling you, and you still don't make it to the Super Bowl. Yeah, sounds like an NFL MVP to me. Definitely don't give it to the second-year guy who completely turned it around from the dumpster of a team last year, and his top talent is an aged-out Stephon Diggs. Yeah, but with his first year with the new head coach. Yeah, okay, playing in the East, playing outside where it's cold, where grown men go to play football. Yeah, okay, yep, Matt Stafford was far more important to his team than Drake May. Okay, sure, yep. Tell me the NFL isn't a fucking joke without telling me the NFL isn't a fucking joke. If you're not on one of the premier coastal teams with that major media market behind you, oh really? NFL AP Most Valuable Player went to a guy whose stadium lends itself to the NFL Network all the time. Oh yeah, totally biased. There is no weight behind those votes at all. Look, I don't really have anything against Matt Stafford other than apparently his entire tenure in Detroit. As a right-handed quarterback, he was taking a football with his left hand, shoving it up his ass and farting it downfield to Kelvin Johnson, a first ballot Hall of Famer for 10 years. But you know what? Hey, what do I know? He finally moved out to L.A., learned how to throw the ball, and now is the greatest thing since sliced bread, pockets in your underwear, or sex on a scooter. Thank God Matt Stafford went to Sean McVay because apparently he was fucking retarded the entire time he was in Detroit. But good on you, Matt Stafford. You have Puka Nacua, who's graded out as PFF's best player in football. You have Devontae Adams, a multi-time All-Pro and Pro Bowl player. You have an All-Pro running back, a stout offensive line, and a championship caliber defense to take you and show that, yes, you are in fact the most important player on your team. If we were to remove Matt Stafford from the LA Rams, the consensus is the Rams would not have made it as far as they did, which was not even the Super Bowl. Whereas Drake May, look, you could say it wasn't flashy, it wasn't sexy. You could probably have the same result with another quarterback in that spot. So, or not, you wouldn't have the same results with another quarterback in the same spot as Drake May. Drake May, you can say he's a system quarterback. No, he's a guy who's executing really well for what Mike Vrabel wants to do, and he doesn't have the talent around him that Matt Stafford does, at least offensively. Yeah, defensively, I could see a little bit of an argument there, but offensively, Stephon Diggs, really? That's who you're hanging your MVP MVP caliber. That's who's holding him back. Was that he has Steph Diggs to throw to? No, dude. It shows how important Drake May is to the New England Patriots. And I'm not even a Patriots fan. I'm just sick and tired of Matt Stafford and this just like glazing. Evidently, I don't know ball because I thought he was throwing the ball this whole time in Detroit the proper way. But yeah, apparently he was just loaded up his ass and farting it down the field. We'll then talk about some other NFL player awards and stuff and things. I just don't agree with any of it. I just don't agree with any of this nonsense and chicanery. All this does is show that the NFL is nothing but a good old boys club, dude. And when you look at the caliber of players down line from the award winners, you see a lot more youth and longevity ahead of them in the NFL. And the NFL is very ceremonial in, well, when your time comes, young man. And it's disrespect at nearly every single level. I'm not saying every single award that was handed out was wrong. I'm saying that there was a few. And yeah, I'm saying I'm coming at it from a Detroit Lions fan perspective. And yeah, I'm saying my ass is pretty chapped over the whole thing. And I think justifiably so. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy inside of your phone. Speaking of chapped asses, Death, Taxes, and Penei Sewell is the best offensive lineman in football are three universal consistents, right? Oh, no. Oh, no. Again, I don't know ball. I don't know ball. How would I possibly know ball? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Everybody told me Action Jack Campbell was a piece of shit. Well, he ended up being the best linebacker in football this year, just like I said he was going to be. So what do I know? Penei Sewell graded out as one of the best players in football on top of the best offensive lineman in football. But yeah, what do we know? By the numbers, by our eyeball check, by every possible metric, Penei Sewell is the cream of the crop. He's turned 26 years old this year. 3-time All-Pro. 4-time Pro Bowler. Turned 26 years old. Graded out as one of the highest players in football. Period, point blank. Lions. Penei Sewell not getting the Potty Award. And it might be the biggest snub of all time. How does this even happen? You guys know who this is at. We're over here at A to Z Sports. And I got to tell you, the slipper nails it. The slipper nails it. He's 100% correct. Nearly every word he says in this article is accurate. There's very little fat. And look, just like the Rams game, just like the Colby Parkinson bullshit touchdown in the Rams game, reporters, Mike Payton, I mean, he's asking questions, but he doesn't have the weight behind him than like a Dave Burkett does or a Tim 20-Man does, you know. We've got questions that will never be answered because, unfortunately, the big dogs are so worried about protecting their cushy little bullshit fucking jobs that they're not going to do actual journalism, and we're just going to never know why Penei Sewell was snubbed from winning the NFL's first Potty Award. You know what? It is a Potty Award because it's a load of shit. It's a bunch of shit. It just goes to show you that the NFL, they don't know what the flying. Bring on the clankers, dude. Bring on the clankers at this point because the minds, the human aspect behind running and coordinating the NFL, writing the scripts, calling penalties, issuing punishments, the human aspect behind it, Roger Goodell's fucking retarded. There. That's the long and short of it. Roger Goodell's fucking retarded. Bring on the clankers. I want a robot, dude. I can't handle this shit anymore. The NFL's fucking broken, and it's a damn joke. Penei Sewell not winning. On top of that, nobody wins. Nobody from Detroit. Now, look, we had 3 guys eligible, right? We had Penei up for the Potty Award. Or I'm sorry, we had 3 awards up between 2 guys. Penei was up for the Potty Award. Hutch was up for Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think that was a fair placement. I think there's a handful of other guys who probably could have been up for defensive player. I actually think Action Jack Campbell should have been a higher placement, or at least in the finalist group over Aiden Hutchinson for Defensive Player of the Year award, just based on the metrics and what he did on the field. Hutch, though, very, very impactful, not at the Defensive Player of the Year award caliber. However, if you're going to put Aiden Hutchinson coming back from a broken tib fib, saying that his, 44 pressures and 14 and a half sacks is good enough for a Pro Bowl nod, okay, a second-team All-Pro nod, and then you go ahead and throw him in the Defensive Player of the Year award finalist, how on earth can anybody justifiably sit here and tell me that he doesn't then deservedly win based on those metrics alone? He doesn't deserve to win Comeback Player of the Year award. Now, I understand Christian McCaffrey put together a good year. But if that's the case, then Christian McCaffrey should win Comeback Player of the Year award every single year because he's routinely hurt, dinged up, and banged up. Aiden Hutchinson had a catastrophic, potentially, look, 200 years ago, you die. 200 years ago, the injury Aiden Hutchinson got, he's dead or doesn't have a leg anymore. You know what I'm saying? To come back and put together the season that he did have, and I was highly scrutinizing his season, right? I had said heading into the last game of the year, without hitting 14 sacks, you don't deserve to be a Pro Bowl player. Well, he really poked it in my eye, didn't he? Ended up getting over 14. There. I had to eat crow, and I do every day. And I'm happy to eat that kind of crow, right? But to not win Comeback Player of the Year award after such a structural, nervous system, fundamental injury, right? You took a building and you knocked one of the corners out, and you sit there and you go, yeah, should be able to come on back, no problem. In fact, it's what you were able to do after the injury doesn't even compare to what Christian McCaffrey was able to do. Oh, Christian McCaffrey. Listen to that name. You know the name, Ed McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's been doing it for so long. Oh, well, what do you know? Just like Matt Stafford. You can't give it to the young guy who truly deserves it. It is right and just. You had to go and give it to the veteran. Just like Penei Sewell. You can't give it to the young guy. You had to give it to Joel Butthole Tooney. Oy vey, oy vey. And then just to keep, look, guys, just call me Dr. Feelbad, dude, because I've got a notepad and I'm writing up prescriptions for black pills this morning, you guys. I am buy one, get one black pills over here at the Hat and Beard Show, you guys. The truth about Super Bowl ticket prices is worse than you think. Shout out Flemlo Raps. He's got a little bit of a video that we're going to get to watching. It's a little 14-minute video we'll watch at the end of the show. Basically talking about how the Super Bowl is a big elitist party. It's a it's a big old party, or it's a big old club, and you ain't in it. You know what I'm saying, dude? It's a sobering reality of what the Super Bowl has become. So, strap in, lock, and load, guys. How we doing, Mad Hatter Nation? I realized that was a little bit more. Now, what's up, Mr. Detroit Sports Talk? How you doing, brother? All we heard after Hutch broke his leg was Hutchinson will never be the same. Exactly, Rick. Bring on the clankers, bigot. They prefer to be called Algorithm Andy. Trippy. That was good, dude. I like that. You guys. I like that. Ben Johnson did not get the Cotty at least. That's true, Brandy. At least he didn't. Mike Vrabel, I think, deservedly. I mean, he's in the Super Bowl. He's coaching the Super Bowl. So, I just want to say shout out. Good morning, everybody. Looks like we've got a full roster, everyone hanging out, y'all. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, share this around with all your friends, all the things and stuff and things. Remember, Monday, big Monday. It's the first Monday of the off season. Which means it's back about a mock draft Monday. I can't wait to be running a mock draft on Monday with you guys. I got next week off, and we're going to kick off my vacation week with a little mock draft on Monday. I can't wait, guys. So make sure that you are here for that. I want to have your input because I'll pause the draft and we can make the picks together, you guys. We can go through it with detail, talk it, break it down. We'll see what's going on. So I'm very ready. As excited as I am for the Super Bowl, I am actually more excited for the combine and the draft process because I'm a Detroit Lions fan. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Mr. Figs? How you doing? Detroit Sports Talk. Do I got any plans tonight? Yeah, dude. I got to go to work. I got to go to work, and based on the amount of snowing that it was doing, it is still kind of coming down on and off. We are shorthanded today, so probably going to be plowing tonight again. Yippee skippy. You know how it is. Saves and shares are going to help make that algo think again, break that 900. Dude, Trippy, I appreciate that, bro. We are grinding to that 900 mark, and it's the off season, so, it's a little bit more of a slog than normal. But honestly, guys, I'm really hoping to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark by the regular season by kickoff. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of our goal. A little bit of an aggressive goal. A little over 150 people still yet to find us and like what we do here. So share this around, do all the things and things, and we're gonna go ahead and roll the Jocko.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Bro, what are those? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, my cats have been like really vibing on me being up here, dude, but them fuckers are some terrors, dude. I can hear them just like going bananas outside of here, dude. Earlier, yo, I was worried Ivor's gonna knock the camera over. He was sitting right over there, dude, just like staring at me, just staring at me, dude. Which I'm fine with. It's cool. It's just like I'm not a cat person, so I don't necessarily know how to read cats yet. You know what I mean? Like, I look at him, I'm like, what are you gonna do, man? Are you gonna what is the plan here? You know what I'm saying, dude? It is what it is. Pro Football Hall of Fame class 2026 revealed at NFL Honors. Should be called the NFL Whores ceremony. So the class of 2026. 5 guys. You can go anywhere from 4 to 8. I would have liked to have seen them get closer to that 8. All right, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be 7. All right. It should be 7. Drew Brees does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Larry Fitzgerald deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Drew Brees, because of you can't tell the story of the NFL without this player. And he was a very media-friendly individual. You know, Drew Brees lent himself to highlight reels and slow-motion action shots very, very well. The NFL really marketed him quite well, and he has the numbers as well as being the undersized quarterback, blah, 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 blah. We all know the story of Drew Brees. Larry Fitzgerald, top-end talent year after year. Never a bad year with Larry Fitzgerald, and he was able to do it and outshine probably what was one of, if not a continuation of, the NFL golden era of wide receivers, right? And what I mean by that, I mean what I consider the golden era of wide receivers. You know, the starts with like a Randy Moss type, goes into your well, shit, now I can't even think of it. Oh, Andre Johnson's. You know, you go from your Randy Mosses into your Andre. I knew there was someone in between Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson that I always forget, and it's Andre Johnson, and then into your Calvin Johnsons, your Larry Fitzgeralds, I do think we are in a good era of wide receivers, and this isn't because I like the player. This is because I can appreciate what he does physically on the field. If you were to take a DK Metcalf and put him in the Larry Fitzgerald and Calvin Johnson era, the golden, what I call the golden era of wide receivers, I think he would be a lot more of a dominating wide receiver than he is now. Right now, and this is kind of how the NFL works, is to counter big or big DBs, you get small wide receivers. To counter small wide receivers, you get smaller DBs. To go against the big or the small wide receivers, you crush them with big wide receivers or small. You understand what I'm saying? It's a size game matchup, right? And right now, I think we are in albeit a great era of wide receivers. Personally, I think it's a little tarnished with obviously the expansion to 17 games, an 18-week schedule, the clearly evident forcing of points through rules manipulations, the NFL putting their thumb on the scale offensively through referees and predetermined outcomes per se of games, players that they want to see elevated in the eyes of the media. We are in a very athletic time of wide receivers. You know what we came out of, dude, is we came out of in my eyes, the golden era of football is like watching a bunch of, box body Chevys and Fords just terrorizing a field. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here for that. I'm like, let's light the bonfire and crack some cold ones. You know what I mean? And now the NFL is like, hey, we like street racing. So wide receivers now aren't so much your box body F-150, where it is, your, I don't know, fucking insert rice burner here, Toyota Corolla or whatever. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm such a damn hillbilly, dude. I don't fucking know. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But you know what I mean? Like I think we're in a little bit more of a flashy era. But Larry Fitzgerald was able to outshine everybody while being not the fastest, not being the strongest, and not being the most physically dominant. There could be an argument, now that I think of it, Larry Fitzgerald could be our generation's Jerry Rice. Does that make sense? Not gonna be the biggest, baddest, and fastest, just gonna outwork everybody and be more technically sound than everybody else on the field. You know what I'm saying? So Larry Fitzgerald, totally deserving of it. I was always a little salty of Fitz and Andre Johnson because, there was like a big, kind of a match between Andre and Calvin and Larry Fitzgerald for like league supremacy. Obviously, huge Calvin Johnson fan, so I was biased as all hell. Luke Kuechly, loved what Luke Kuechly did on the field. Adam Vinatieri, sure, okay. Roger Craig, okay, I guess. Not in this class though are two guys, and it is an absolute shame that Eli Manning will now be at the earliest a third ballot Hall of Famer. Okay, and the reason that it's such a shame is Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Those two men's careers will infinitely be linked together because the reason that Bill Belichick deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for winning more Super Bowls than any other head coach, you know what I'm saying, for coaching the modern day dynasty of the New England Patriots, the reason that Bill Belichick deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for all of those accolades is the exact same reason why Eli Manning deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, because he is the man, the quarterback of the team that stood up to the evil empire twicey. You know what I'm saying? Stood up and did what his brother couldn't do, right? Who is a first ballot Hall of Famer. So not only did he outshine, unfortunately, Eli Manning just isn't going to have the flashiest win-loss totals. He's a 500 win-loss quarterback, but a two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback that stood directly in the face of the evil empire. Again, Bill Belichick and Eli Manning's careers are infinitely tied together. So both of them not getting in this year is an absolute shame and lends itself to the narrative about how the NFL is continuing to beclown themselves and just be a joke. I mean, it's a media. Maybe the NFL needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror and realize that, maybe they need to get back to the Attitude Era of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they need to stop with the PG, child-friendly version of the league and get back to what we all want, a grown man's game here where meritocracy actually matters. You guys know me and my beliefs on how it all goes hand in glove. How we feeling, Mad Hatter Nation? I'm a little rambly today, guys. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate that. Thank you so much with the link. I'm doing a dance marathon at my sister's college to raise money for kids with cancer. I'm going to be dancing for 24 hours for kids with cancer. They raised last year $1.3 million. So, Detroit Sports Talk. Can you drop a link in the chat where there's some way that maybe I could throw a couple dollar redo? Is there a donation link that you could send that I can like maybe tonight I can throw like a couple dollar redos your way, dude? Is that possible? Because I would love to help with that, dude. That's absolutely awesome. I hope you cut up all the rugs, dude. Doing a dance marathon. Damn, dude. What can I may I ask what college? Without, and it's cool if you don't want, you know what I'm saying. I'm just curious, dude. I'm just making chat, dude. I'm just making chit chat. It's not judging you, don't worry. Appreciate. Larry Fitzgerald looked like he has been receiving a lot of calories. Like, yeah, Art, dude. So, you know, when I see Larry Fitzgerald, I was like, oh, he's been hanging out with Charles Barkley, huh? I was like, them two been Sir Charles a buffet, and Larry Fitz gonna eat it all, dude. Yeah, Larry don't fits in his jeans, dude. Last Air's version of Amon-Ra. Oh, are you talking Fitzgerald? Damn, dude. Yeah. Shit, dude. You know what, brother? Trippy, not only are you accurate in your depiction on the metrics, but like if you actually were to take them in a side-by-side comparison aesthetically, literally Amon-Ra is like a more compact version of Larry Fitzgerald. Holy crappers, bro. You nailed that. Damn, dude. Damn, I never thought of that. Holy crappers, you crushed it. Crushed it. 100% most accurate take of Amon-Ra. Everyone wants to say Hines Ward or Golden Tate, but like he's always been a little bit stronger. He's always had a little bit more low-end torque, a little bit more mass, a little bit more muscle than Hines Ward, a little bit shiftier and faster in his routes than Golden Tate. Dude, he's the he's a Larry Fitzgerald C1, compact one. Peyton beat Brady and the Pats in the AFC Championship twice, I think. I think you are correct, Gun. Yes. But he also lost a handful of times to him, too. You know what I'm saying? Stop the woke shit 100%, Mr. Figs. Up with hope, down with woke. You know what I'm saying? Robert Kraft also didn't make the Hall of Fame either, which is... Oh, yeah, Art, I forgot about that. Kraft was up for it, too. I had kind of thought that maybe Kraft was going to force his way in and bully out Belichick. But you know what, dude? Maybe the NFL is waiting to do like this, like... Oh, that's what they're trying to do. Yo, the NFL's... They're going to do a whole thing. It's going to be when Brady, Belichick, and Kraft are all eligible. They're going to do a whole thing. It's going to be a whole thing. That's what they're waiting to. Muscle turns to fat when you abandon the gym. 100%, Rick. But if I was a Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver and put together nearly 20 years of professional football, I, would be like, I'm going to take a couple years off if I felt like it. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady won't be the first ballot Hall of Famer either. You know, Brent, based on the metrics on how they've been doing it, that's accurate. That has to be accurate, Fitzgerald almost won that 09 Super Bowl single-handed. You're right, dude. That was the Larry Fitzgerald ball-out game. He wanted it so bad, dude. I always thought Amon-Ra was Steve Smith 2.0. That's fair. He's just not as fast. Steve Smith had that Steve Smith had JMO speed. You know what I'm saying? Steve Smith was lightning fast. Amon-Ra's quick, but doesn't quite have that fifth gear. He's fast. Don't misunderstand me. And the problem is that Amon-Ra, with having the thicker thighs that he has versus like a Steve Smith being a little bit more of a muscle-bound guy, he just doesn't look as fast on the field. You know what I'm saying? The Manning brothers took 4 possible rings from Brady and Bill, 100% gun guy. And that's what I'm saying, dude. You can't tell the story of the NFL without the Brady brothers, or without the Manning brothers standing in the face of Brady and Billy Blue Chew. All right, guys, so Matt Stafford wins NFL AP MVP. I gave you guys my take on that. I think it's absolutely disgusting. It should have gone to Drake, May. Went to Los Angeles Rams, Matt Stafford. The closest race since Peyton Manning and Steve McNair were co-winners in 2003. Okay, well, you know what? At least it was close. Do we know who it came down to? Was it down between him and Drake May, which is the only acceptable answer? Given out Thursday. New England's Mike Vrabel. All right, they didn't say who he beat out or who the second place guy was, but that's good that yeah, at least it was close. But they should at the very least, in my opinion, him and Drake May should have won co-MVP. Matt Stafford did not do any one thing that deserved to win MVP more than Drake May. He had a better team around him, and Drake May did more with less. Tell me I'm wrong. Who's in the Super Bowl? Just saying. Mike Vrabel beat out Jacksonville's Liam Cohen for Coach of the Year award, which I am fine with. Again, for all of the reasons why Drake May should have won NFL MVP, Mike Vrabel deserves to win Coach of the Year, and he did. Not Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is a turncoat bastard, and nobody should like him. Nobody should go to Ben Johnson's birthday party. Everybody needs... Do you think Dan Campbell's going to let little Spud go to Small PP Benedict Arnold Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City's birthday party now? Hell no. Nobody should go to Ben Johnson's birthday party. I do think Liam Cohen had an argument, though, for being winning Coach of the Year. Jacksonville is not good, and they have historically been not good. And they have a hard time getting talent and having that talent work out. Look at Christian Kirk, right? They grossly overpaid for his ass. But Mike Vrabel did a lot more, went a lot farther with a much less talented... look, I'm going to be honest. Trevor Lawrence has all of the talent in the world, and he's just wasting away in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence needs to get out of Jacksonville and have a team, have an ownership group that's willing to put a team around him that can win, similar to Matt Stafford. But Drake May, I think, deserved to win it for the same reason Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year. Christian McCaffrey became the first running back in 24 years to win AP NFL Comeback Player of the Year award. Has nothing to do with his name. Has nothing to do with his name. Has nothing to do with his name being Christian McCaffrey. Nope. We're going to make sure that the old boys keep winning it. Also, I do want to shout out Bobby Wagner winning Walter Payton Man of the Year award. What the fuck? 1 second. Yo. The fuck are you guys doing? Leave her the fuck alone. Leave her the fuck alone. God damn, yo, I can hear the cats fighting over my headphones, dude. That was fucking wild as hell, man. What was I talking about? Yeah, I got no problem with Bobby Wagner winning Walter Payton Man of the Year award. I don't know what all he did, but I think it's dope. Recognizes charitable work, admit at helping identify signs of stroke. His mother died of a stroke a year ago. Wow, okay. He thanked his father first because I didn't realize how hard it was to be a father until I got 2 kids of my own. A lot of my time spent away trying to provide for a family, and it made me appreciate the job that he did. So I'm truly grateful for him, he added. And then he turned to his mom saying, I cannot be up here and not talk about my mom. She is and forever will be my rock. She's the reason why I'm standing here. She's the person that that had confidence in me when I didn't even have confidence in myself. That's super awesome, dude. Good on him. And I think that's super cool. Because, a lot of guys kind of, and again, this isn't taken away from nothing, but a lot of guys will do, they'll do military charitable work. They'll help like homeless kids or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And this is, again, I'm not taking away from nothing, but I think that's a super unique and clearly a very close to home thing for him to focus on is helping identify signs of a stroke. That's just like a super unique thing. Cause there's a lot of things that kind of get overshadowed by other charities that, I'm not saying one needs more than the other, but some tend to get a little bit more elevation than others. And for him to win Walter Payton Man of the Year award by doing this shows that he probably did a little bit more in this very niche line than say others did in their more oversaturated market. Does that make sense? And I just think that's pretty cool. Again, I also kind of always like Bobby Wagner. And then real quick here, Matt Stafford says he'll be back in 2026 as he accepts the MVP award. Blah, blah, blah. Appreciate it. I'm so happy to have you in the game. Silence behind me. Stafford revealing that he'll be back for another season. The 17th year NFL vet. 4,700 yards and 46 touchdowns. Okay, good for you. Good for you, Matt Stafford. He's a salty. Didn't win the Super Bowl. Shout out, I think it was Rick said it in the chat earlier. I kind of thought they were giving this to Stafford as like a, hey, now we'll see you on greener pastures. You know what I'm saying? And then he's just like, nah, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. It is a children's mirror. Oh, is it children's mirror? Okay, no May for MVP, no Bill or Kraft Hall of Fame. NFL has some demons that are excising on the Pats. Damn, Trippy. Yeah, dude, this is starting to look kind of fucky, isn't it, dude? No Kraft, no Bill, no Drake for MVP. Vrabel had to win a Coach of the Year because he's in the Super Bowl, right? Now the real tell will be how badly the NFL forces the Patriots to lose on Sunday. Because honestly, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I'm almost like hesitant to even put money on the Pats now, because it does look like some NFL has got some fuckery going on. Titans fans must have kicked their TVs last night. Why did Cam Ward? Who won Offensive Rookie of the Year? Ted McMillan? Really? And he beat out Tyler Shuck? I mean, McMillan had 1,000 yards on 70 catches and 7 touchdowns. That's nothing to bat an eye at. Wow. Wow, dude. I mean, he didn't have that great of a year. His numbers aren't bad, though. His numbers ain't bad. Should have been Hutch. Yeah, gun guy, it should have been Hutch, dude. It's disgusting. We'll talk about that. Makes you wonder if these awards are chosen based on lowest betting payout. Gambling companies have their money everywhere. Dude. I keep seeing all these videos where people are getting into the numbers of sports betting and like, bro, it's bad. It's bad. His choices at home all the time with Kelly or play football. He's playing until he dies. I would too, dude. Wasn't it Kraft that told Goodell he did not like the Super Bowl halftime show plan? That couldn't have gone over. Oh, yeah. Dude, Jack, I think you're right. Robert Kraft halftime show. Well, yeah, I know he's not performing. That's dumb. Oh, no, man. He's doing the Jew thing. He's doing the Jewish thing, the blue square thing, dude. Fucking big surprise, huh? All right, so speaking of blue squares, look at this big blue square. Look at our guy, Lions. Penei Sewell not getting Potty a year, or the Potty Award. It might be the biggest snub of all time. The NFL honors went down Thursday night, and this is coming to us from Mike the Slipper Payton. For the first time, an NFL offensive lineman got their very own award in the NFL. Lions right tackle Penei Sewell is up for the award against Garrett Bowles, Aaron Brewer, Creed Humphrey, Quinn Meinherz, and Joe Tooney. Huh. Penei Sewell somehow did not win the Potty Award. This makes absolutely no sense. Sewell had arguably the best season of his career in 2025, and he did it with 13 different offensive line combinations this season. I'll repeat that. He did it with 13 different O-line combos. That's not how you get coercion. That's not how you get consistency. He allowed a career low 19 pressures this season. That was the lowest among all tackles in the league, with a minimum of 900 snaps. 900 snaps. That's. I think you play like what, 1,000 to 1,200 a year tops. Sewell's 95.2 PFF grade made him the highest graded offensive lineman in the NFL and one of the highest graded football players in the league, period. His 96.8 run block grade was the highest in the league among offensive linemen. He also was penalized just twicey, just a two-time. He was only, they only said flag a two-timey. He only said a two-time with the flag. Please. Frankly, this is, if this award existed last year, he probably would have gotten it then too. Sewell is very much deserving of this award. But instead, the award was given to Bears guard Joe Tooney. Despite Tooney grading lower in every category than Sewell, allowing more pressures, and being on a healthy offensive line. So he basically got the award for being on a winning team, which is the issue with the awards in the first place. I couldn't agree more with you, Mike Payton. Mike Payton nails it right here. Joe Tooney got the award because he was on a winning team. He graded out lower. He played worse. He had an intact offensive line through the majority of the season, if not the entire season. Oh, that's right. He had a major media backing because the NFL is in love with Giggle Willie. Oh, gotcha! That's what it is. Also, how long has he been in the league? A lot longer than Penei Sewell. So what you're saying is that the young guy in Drake May couldn't win MVP, had to lose to the veteran. Aiden Hutchinson couldn't win Comeback Player of the Year award because he had to lose it to the veteran. And Penei Sewell, even though by every single metric graded out as the best offensive lineman in football, one of the highest graded players in the NFL at any position, you had to give the award to the old guy. Doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, does it? But you know, the NFL is not meritocracy anymore, is it? Never. I'm starting to think maybe the NFL never was meritocracy. Maybe it was all just bureaucracy. You know? And this is getting fucking old, dude. Detroit Lions shut out of NFL honors, including awful Penei Sewell's snub. It wasn't a big surprise that Hutch walked away empty-handed. He didn't have much of a shot for Defensive Player of the Year award when Myles Garrett set the NFL sack record for a single season. I honestly didn't understand why Hutch was even in the conversation. He had a great year, but not defensive MVP. Great. If you want to talk about who was more important to the defense for the Lions alone, Jack Campbell was more important to the defense than Aiden Hutchinson. He was the best linebacker in football. Garrett was the unanimous choice for Defensive Player of the Year. I would have voted for him. Hutchinson had a closer shot at winning Comeback Player of the Year after posting 14.5 sacks the season after a gruesome leg injury, a tib fib. Unfortunately for Hutchinson, he finished second behind 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. Got to give it to the name, the old guy. The veteran running back posted 2,100 scrimmage yards a year after an injury-filled 2024 season limited him to just 4 games played. But it wasn't a catastrophic, structurally altering injury. I mean, the injury that Hutch had changes the structural foundation of how your mechanics operate forever. His nervous system took a impactful shot that could theoretically change his body mechanics forever. It's not good enough. It's not good enough to come back and lead the NFL in pressures. It's not good enough to come back and put 14 and a half sacks together. That's not good enough. Because although you did it once, no. It's not comeback player of the year. It's how many times can this player come back before we finally give him an award? Now, Christian McCaffrey has won awards in the past. Christian McCaffrey's on the backside of his career. Christian McCaffrey is trying to have more accolades, kind of pad out his claim to the Hall of Fame. The more accolades he has, the easier of a road he has to the Hall of Fame. Period, point blank. That's the way it is. Hutchinson got snubbed because the NFL is a good old boys club, just like Penei Sewell. The biggest snub of the night came at the hands of Penei Sewell. He was up for the Potty Award. Despite being far and away the best offensive lineman by PFF measures, the award went to Chicago Bears guard Joe Thuney. Because Ben Johnson, he puckered up them lips and he made sure to polish up that first place vote on everybody voting, you know what I'm saying? Admittedly, it's impossibly hard to compare two players at two entirely different positions. Additionally, I don't take anything away from Thuney, a 3-time first-team All-Pro player and a 4-time Super Bowl champion. Well, what does that have to do with the price of eggs in China? That has nothing to do. That has no bearing on what you've done. The award says of the year, not of your career. Fuck. I understand that the majority of Americans are illiterate, but award of the year means exactly that, of that year. Now, if you want to make it the protector of the career award, well, Joe Thuney still doesn't deserve it. He's still nowhere. Joe Thuney is nowhere near a protector of a career award when you look at all the other players in the NFL during his time frame, right? And it's what have you done during your career when it comes to comeback player of the year? Because Aiden Hutchinson sustained a much more significantly impactful injury than Christian McCaffrey did last year and was able to do more with less around him and without a West Coast media market behind him. However, this does feel more like a legacy award for a player who's been playing at a very high level for a decade, a relatively high level. Sewell, while maybe not be his best year, was still absolutely dominant. He's an absolute monster in the run game and allowed only 2 sacks and just 19 pressures. Among offensive tackles who played at least 940 snaps, Sewell's 19 pressures was tied for the fewest among 33 qualifying tackles. His 98.2 PFF pass blocking efficiency ranked second only to Denver's Garrett Bowles, who was also a finalist for the award. So at least there's a metric that he was beaten out by a guy, and even Garrett Bowles didn't win the award. Unlike the NFL award at unlike the other awards that the NFL honors, Potty was decided by a panel of former offensive linemen. So I suppose that they're experts. And here's how everything shook out. Comeback Player of the Year award. Hutch received 9 first place votes, which is still insulting. This is not even hitting double digits, bro. Like, you guys just seen CMC and slapped it down. You're like, oh yeah, CMC, yeah, I like CMC. He makes me feel good. Fucking assholes, dude. Defensive Player of the Year, obviously Myles Garrett, just crushing it. Unanimous and deservedly so. Hutch did get 42 points, though I don't know why he was even on the list. And there's no breakdown for Protector of the Year award, so we don't know where Sewell finished in voting. But the fact that he didn't win means that it is an absolute disgrace by every single metric. How we feeling, guys? Fuck the Bears. Hell yeah, gun guy. Fuck the toilet seats. Hell yeah, Brent. Lions get no respect. Detroit versus everybody forever. What's up, American Boxer? You were pointing out that the Lions' offensive line is the reason that they win. Well, it's 100%, dude. I've said it from the beginning that the reason why Brad Holmes drafted Penei Sewell was that was the identity. We drafted Penei Sewell and Aleem McNeil in the exact same draft. Brad Holmes showed you what the identity of the team is going to be. Build through the trenches. If we can't control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, you're never going to have a shot at winning the game. Fundamentally sound football leads to fundamentally fun football, leads to exciting football. Does that make sense? It's all ladder logic. All right, guys, we got a few more minutes here. Let's run through Flemlo's video here about how ticket prices for the Super Bowl have absolutely crippled the American consumer and how we're not allowed to partake in the fun. So this is a video. You guys know I love Flemlo rap, so check it out. Here we go.
Super Bowl 60 tickets are selling quickly, and the average cost is higher than last year's in New Orleans.
$4,000, $6,000, $12,000.
Seattle Seahawks fans are breaking the piggy bank for a trip to Santa Clara. Afternoon ticket prices to the big game were starting at $7,000.
For many fans, the dream of attending the biggest sporting event in the country is quickly becoming out of reach. Ticket prices are soaring to unprecedented heights.
You're gonna either pay your bills or you're gonna go to the game.
The Super Bowl now less than 2 weeks away. Ticket prices are leaving some local fans in shock.
Only the rich can do it. The middle income can't do it.
Use language with three other things that are closely related to language.
This is a Super Bowl ticket from 1996. Back then, you could go for $200. Now let's look at tickets from 2026. And as you can see, bro, things have changed. To help illustrate this massive shift, this is my boy Joey Ave, the average Joe. Dude makes exactly the median household income in each decade since the Super Bowl started. He's the average American, going to the Super Bowl from the 70s all the way till today. By the way, every single dollar on this chart has been adjusted for inflation, so it's in today's money. In the 70s, tickets was 120 bones, and Joey made $4,500 a month. So my dude cops a ticket, goes to the game, and his pockets don't feel no pain at
Yeah, dude, if you're making $4,500 a month in 1970, you're fucking breaded.
all. By the 90s, the gap has barely shrunk. Now Joe's making $5,400 a month. And these Super Bowl tickets, they're gonna run him $450. Now he's gotta think a little bit harder about dropping that money. But at the end of the day, it's the Super Bowl, bro. Now the 2000s are tricky because
I would like to point out how Flemlo's bar graph here, it shows the price of the NFL tickets going up, but it also shows you the absolute stagnation of wages over the decades. In 1970, he's got Joey Ave here making $4,500 a month. Okay, breaded in 1970. Okay, fast forward 50 years. Okay. And Joey Ave has increased his monthly income from $4,500 a month to $6,000 a month. A $1,500 a month increase in 50 years. Now, still, let's be honest, living pretty good. If you're especially just a single individual putting together a monthly income of $6,000 a month, you're living pretty good, dude. That's what. $7,200 a year before taxes. That's you're okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go extreme couponing, you know. Now, if you add another income to that as well, but that's a whole other can of worms. Mr. McGillicuddy's Widget Factory and the dissolvement and the dilutement of the American dollar is a whole ass other thing. But just look at how between 1970 to 2020, dude's only increased his monthly income by $1,500 a month over 50 years. I think that's something that's getting, I just wanted to point out how, yeah, Rick, same, dude. Same. Actually, same, bro. And that's why I'm like, hello? You know what I'm saying? Because same, dude. That's more than I make. You know, so I'm like, yo, he should be living okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, you also can see the absolute spike here in the 2000s to the 2020s of Super Bowl tickets, but just pay attention to the stagnation of the wage increase.
as his income has only grown by a couple $100. And yeah, he can still afford the ticket, but it's worth pointing out, the prices have doubled. Now the 2010s is where things get a little crazy. Joe's making over $5,800 a month, but all of a sudden one Super Bowl ticket costs over half his monthly income. Now it's different, cause we talking about rent, we talking about car note, bro, we talking about food. Super Bowl tickets just went from an impulse buy to something you gotta plan for months in advance. But if you think that's something, check out today.
Either pay your bill or you can go to the game.
Joey's bringing home $6,000 a month. Bro, if this was the 70s, dude would be balling. But his rent's more expensive, car notes more expensive, and his insurance premium can make a grown man cry. On top of that, the average Super Bowl ticket that's available to regular fans costs $8,000. So we've gone from the cost of 2 video games to more than he makes in an entire month. And that's not even considering travel, hotels, parking. And I know you ain't have no intention on eating. Again, this is just to get your boy through the gates. Why this happened is not a mystery. It's 6 words. People trying to make more money. And we need money. On this earth, it's essential. Though there is a lot of space between need and
I just realized Homeboy's got this fucking sick-ass Hey Arnold shirt on, dude. That's dope.
greed. But the real story ain't found in the why. In this case, the good story is found in the how. How did we ever get to this point?
Why don't you explain this to me like I am an 8-year-old?
You got this shady dude, these rich cats, some grainy footage, and a host of characters. And once you put them together, they tell the story of the most expensive ticket in all of sports.
Only the rich can do it.
About 6,000, 12,000.
Middle income can't do it.
Somebody won the lottery. I didn't.
The Super Bowl didn't just come out the gates as the cultural phenomenon it is today. Early games weren't played in these massive stadiums, and half the time they still couldn't fill up the seats. Back then, tickets were sold like normal tickets. Anyone could buy one, then go to the game. In the years to come, this would become unthinkable. If you want tickets to the NFL Gala, either know the right people or they gotta know you. Now, the Super Bowl has always been a neutral site game. And only twice in history has a team made the Super Bowl in the same year it was hosted in a city. So you always had those local buyers and then fans of the participating team. And early on, that was pretty much the Super Bowl crowd. The people in the city and fans.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Fans of the team, local buyers, fans of the other team, and then corporate sponsors. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of, the math is there.
Of the two teams.
There's a split of the
there
tickets.
Was always another presence, pretty much from the very beginning. Corporate sponsors have always been at these games, but they were still outnumbered by the real fans. But in 1969, something changed when 150 million Americans stopped everything, sat in front of their TVs, and completely locked into this grainy footage.
A video made by Stanley Kubrick in a basement in LA.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Also, yeah, all right, good. I wanted to make sure. You guys do know, and you can see it a little bit here, everyone thinks that he just says small step for man. He actually says it's a small step for a man, which I think is dope.
Humans said, wow, there's a dude on the moon. Companies said, wow, there's 100 million people watching the same thing at the same time. Bro, you know what this means? We can sell them stuff. After that, the way the league thought about live broadcasts would never be the same as it was before. They realized that concurrent viewership on this scale was every advertiser's wildest dream. By the 70s, football was one of the most reliable live broadcasts in the country. They merged with the AFL, started Monday Night Football, and the dusk of a brand new era was upon us. Sports economist Victor Matheson said, quote, teams don't care if families can't afford the seats as long as they can still hook them watching TV. Because major sports leagues make 2/3 of their money on television deals. That's the heart of the business. So they don't need the average American to come to the game because the average American gonna watch it at home. Now they can run up the TV deals and the advertising dollars and then double back and make more money off the same seats because they've marked them up like 3 and 4 times. And while that applies to most NFL games, the Super Bowl is the ultimate version of this. That's why we look at usually garbage Super Bowl commercials every single year. Because everybody's trying to have that same moment that Apple had back in the 80s.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
TV.
Yeah, see, they could make that joke because people were literate and understood the joke.
deals brought in billions, but they also came with some expectations. Sponsors wanted more seats, they wanted more access, and they could pay way more than the average fan. Usually sponsors have an agreed price for ticket allotments baked directly into their multi-million-dollar contract. So while they may not be paying in a traditional way, the NFL still gonna get its money. And all them companies, bro, they happy to pay it. Cause to them, the Super Bowl is way more than a game. Dr. David Carter at USC Marshall School of Business said, the Super Bowl is not just a game. It's a social currency, a super powerful networking tool. For those that can't afford it, attending is a statement, a crucial corporate networking opportunity, and an unparalleled personal experience. The market price reflects that exclusivity, extending far beyond the athletic contest itself. So that's the type of thinking that got us to the point where nearly every single seat in a Super Bowl stadium is already reserved before the real fans get an opportunity to fight over scraps. I guess I've always known some tickets was reserved, but bro, I ain't know it was this many. Today's video is sponsored by DraftKings. Another Bowl 6 brand new if their bet wins. So make sure you choose one in the video. The crowd is yours. Let's jump back in. 35% of the tickets go to the two teams who are actually playing in the game. Each team gets roughly 17.5%, which is understandable, like you made the Super Bowl. Teams usually distribute them to season ticket holders, players, coaches, staff, and family members. In case it's not obvious, the players and the coaches don't need the tickets for themselves. They get the tickets and give them to whoever they want to. But even diehard fans of the teams that's playing, they're gonna have a hard time getting a hold of those tickets. I mean, you're gonna have to be in an exclusive club. Most normal fans won't qualify for this. So that's 35% of tickets already gone. Then you got the other 30 NFL teams that didn't make the Super Bowl. Each of them also receives a small allocation. We're talking 1.1% per team, which adds up quickly to 34%. Next up, you got the league office, who gets 25% of the tickets. Those go to major corporate sponsors, broadcast partners, league execs, and those they need to rub elbows with, bringing the total tickets going to 94%.
Are you guys seeing the math here? Are you seeing the math? They don't even watch you at the fucking game, dude. They don't want you around them.
So the fans get to fight over 6% of tickets. Nah, bro. You can't forget about the city that's hosting the Super Bowl. They get an allocation of about 5%. So another 5% goes to the host city. And that's used for local partners, city officials, like the mayor and all of them. They got to get their photo out, right? So that puts us at a whopping 99% of tickets already accounted for. And all of that happens before the general fan ever gets a chance. So that leaves the general public scratching and clawing over 1% of total Super Bowl tickets. And that usually comes out to less than 1,000 available tickets for the general public. So it's the low 1% allotment that creates scarcity. And the rarer something is, the more valuable it is. Back in 2014, one fan actually tried to sue the league over this exact arrangement. Unfortunately, and obviously,
I'd like to point out that his name is John Finkelman.
Yes, the case was
Finkner and Einhorn! Einhorn is Finkel, and Finkel is Einhorn!
Wasn't successful, and nothing changed. So this practice has continued, making Super Bowl tickets and
that means I made out with a man! Ah!
near impossibility. But that only explains one part of the issue, because scarcity alone don't create extreme prices. So when you look at the chart, bro, the prices was always going up because the game is getting bigger, the league's getting more fans. But at a certain point, they just start to multiply crazy. Why is that? What caused this crazy spike? Well, this one's not complicated, as we can actually trace this back to a single profession.
We'll scalp the tickets. We can make maybe 500 a ticket. Two, I got two, huh? Pagliacci, huh? Who needs Pagliacci, huh? Come on.
Meet the scalper, aka the reseller. In the 1980s, the scalper was a shady dude outside the stadium, probably wearing a coat even though it's summertime, selling you tickets for marked up prices. Dude works cash only, got a nervous energy, because in most places what he's doing is illegal. But these facts, plus his lack of reach, means he really can't affect prices at scale. But in the 90s, the world starts to open up as the internet arrives in its infancy stage. The scalper slowly becomes more crafty and learns to leverage technology in his favor. Time goes on, and by the mid-2000s, the legal landscape had completely changed. The internet made those old scalping laws all completely unenforceable. Slowly but surely, state by state, those old laws started to vanish. All of a sudden, everything was in the scalper's favor. He can resell a ticket for as much as the market would pay, and pit fans against each other to drive up the price. The scalper became known more as the reseller, and he's no longer limited by location or a small buying window. Back in the day, his best sales didn't actually come until after the game had already started. He was getting his highest prices from the desperate dudes who got there too late and didn't get a ticket. So he had to be in that specific location at that specific time. Now he could sell tickets all the way across the world 3 weeks before the game even starts. What used to be a shady side hustle has now grown into $1 billion business. And as cool as that is for the reseller, is cats like Joey Av who's paying the tax.
Or like
so
you
in
and me.
short, the league created scarcity by blocking off 99% of the tickets. Then the reseller used the internet to capitalize on that scarcity and drive the prices up so high that they went from looking like this to looking like this. Every single year, the resale market tests how much that scarcity's worth. And every year, the answer is exactly the same.
More.
Thanks to the 1% allotment, the supply stays the same. Meanwhile, the demand just keeps going up. 99% of tickets go to people of influence.
See all them people right there? They don't want you at their little party. They don't go for the game, dude. They go because it's a fucking party for them. It is a photo op. It's an Instagram. It's social media. It's bullshit. And these assholes are making sure that you cannot afford to enjoy one of the last things that you like. It is, again, I've said this about fucking movies, most video games, any form of medium that you enjoy that, like, you like it because, I don't know, man, I just fucking like it, right? You can't explain it to them. And these assholes, they just go, well, I don't like what they do. I don't like that they enjoy it. I'm going to make it impossible for them to enjoy it. So they destroy Star Wars. They destroyed fucking Marvel. They destroy the NFL. They take everything that you love and they try and feminize it and make it fake and fucking gay so that you don't like it because they can't understand why you like it and that pisses them off. Why do you enjoy something that I don't? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it from you. I'm going to make sure that it's fucking miserable because misery loves company, baby. Look at it. Demon, 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 demon. Bunch of whores right there. Bunch of demonic whores right there.
Who use the game as a form of self-marketing, making the event highly desirable for non-football fans who love the attention. And then, bro, their followers start to place a premium on a game that they otherwise wouldn't care about. So then they cannonball into the pool of fans fighting over 1% of tickets. So the pool gets bigger, the bids get higher. That's how you end up with a chart like this. Regular people like our boy Joey Av simply can't compete in this type of market. So the experience he could have had back in the day are just like those decades, a thing of the past. So at the end of the day, this is about an unavoidable truth. And it's about us, the human species. And don't get me wrong, like I understand why this happens. So don't get mad at me, bro. I'm just pointing out the facts. When every single person over-indexes for self with no real thought on how it affects other people, you always gonna come to the same end. Market's gonna crash, prices will balloon, way past anything that's remotely reasonable. And while these things might periodically be reset, they'll always regress back to the limits of the human heart, which at its core is selfish. As long as we're situated on this side of heaven, this is a reality that we gotta wrestle with. So build up your strength, man, and practice your technique so that the things of this world can never keep you pinned down.
Set your affection on things above, not on things on earth. I fucking love that Flemlow always throws a little bit of scripture into his shit, dude. I fucking love this guy, dude. He's such a great content creator. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Appreciate each and every one of you tuned in, hang out. I think we didn't upload on Monday because I was rootin', tootin', and farting around. We will be back, though, next week on Monday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here at youtube.com/The Hat and Beard Show. Make sure you get your notification bell turned on. Share this around with all of your friends. Enjoy the Super Bowl, you guys. If you're going to gamble responsibly. Don't be stupid. Don't gamble the house. And if you're feeling froggy, I guess put some money on the Patriots, though. If we're looking at the tea leaves, seeing Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick getting snubbed from the Hall of Fame, I think the NFL's got a little boner to pick with the Patriots, and there might be a little bit of a thumb or two on the scale in the favor of the Seattle Seabags. Anon's hacked Scientology and the Snubs have been taunting us with the woke. Dude, no shit? Bro. Hang on. Because, Trippy, is this new? Is this, like, developing recently? Oh, this is back in early December, huh? Dope. Fuck them. Dude, you get what I'm saying, bro? The elites fucking hate us, dude. They fucking hate us. Gotcha. Yeah, dude, they fucking hate us, dude. What was it Epstein was calling us? Goyim? We're just a bunch of fucking cattle, dude. We're just a bunch of goyim. It went hacked to Wall Street to whatever we see now. No shit, dude. Bro, they hate us, dude. And you know why they hate us? They hate us. Oh, they hate us because they ain't us. You know what they're saying? Oh, them stupid Mongolians. They think they can knock down my shitty wall? Oh, very clever Mongolian Trojan horse. Very clever Mongolian. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Try and enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Don't gamble too much. Eat too much. Have fun. Stay out of trouble. We'll be right back here Monday morning at 10 a.m. Until then, I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Bonga bonga.